Busy Daddies do Sci-Fi.
Hot seltzer?
Some hot seltzer you got there. Kevin, it's gonna... Ooh, hot chair. Hot. Everything's hot. Everything's gotta be cool. We gotta be cool.
You ever get in a rental car and find that the seat heater's on, and that's why you're getting that lower back sensation?
Why? What kind of rental cars are you getting? You get the seat heater with the rental car? I get like the Geo Golf.
Oh, you're in subcompact?
Yeah, I'm in like the the Ford Fiesta. My knees are up near my chest. This is when if I'm alone, but if I'm with the family, we usually do like an SUV or a minivan. But even then, we don't. It's
probably going to be where your seat heater is.
We don't get the seat heater though.
It's all luck of the draw, man.
Yeah, no.
You got to go in. There's all sorts of weird Jedi ways to get the car you didn't pay for.
Now I'm worried that I have had a seat heater and have just overlooked it.
And have never turned it on your wife's side and watched her sweat in the middle of summer?
Just like not gone. Because whenever I get in a rental car, I'm usually a little like anxious. I'm a little like, okay, well, let me figure out where's the air conditioning? Where's the, like I'm looking at...
Because it has like a screen, or you're just wondering what's up?
Because there's a screen there. I'm just kind of wondering. I'm like, I got to get my bearing. I'm in Newark Airport, and I've got to drive 2 hours right now. So there's always this like transition period to my level of comfort, and then it usually gets screwed up in my trip out of Newark Airport because there's all these different turns and everything. So, and then my phone, there's no place to put my phone.
What about Bluetooth? Did you have Bluetooth?
Yeah, I had some Bluetooth. Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, for the first day, it only did the directions though, because I realized I had to click on the media. So I didn't have any of my podcasts or my music. So my life it's unmanageable, Kevin.
You got to. I pull over and take a little time.
Yeah, that's what you got to do.
Vital. It's vital, man. It's usually the best car stereo I'm going to have is for the duration that car's rented.
Yeah, completely.
And so I need to get that thing plugged in and loud.
Completely.
Riveting. I know, folks. You're back, and so are we.
This is what they tune in for. They tune in for the
warm-up?
I think most people, they punch out after 5 minutes, but they're like, hey, I'm going to pop this on. I'm going to see how Kevin and George are doing. And then all of a sudden we go, oh, and by the way, Infinity War, and I'll see you later.
Meow.
Back to Radiolab.
Hipsters didn't watch Infinity War. I cannot believe the amount of hipsters that are in our fan base. It is.
We mentioned Highland Park once, I think.
That homemade mustache cream that guy mailed us, that was so sweet.
I put it everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I don't have a mustache.
I think it's actually just shea butter, so you can put it everywhere. But when you package it like that in the wooden tub, the handmade wooden tub,
oh, you can't put it everywhere. It's a little bit of.
I beg to differ.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man. So yeah, we're back. I'd say better than ever.
Slipping right in on a shea butter slide.
A nicely careened shea butter slip and slide. Kind of hanging out. You have a slip and slide when you were a kid?
Yeah.
I did not.
You never just take the roll of 55-gallon trash bags where they're perforated and just lay it out there?
You know what I did one time is I did that inside the house. We put a bunch of trash bags down and then threw baby oil on top of it.
In the house.
In the house.
Like parent greenlit, or
no.
People came home and found it.
Mom is at the merry-go-round, which was a thrift store on the corner of Washington and Livingston Street in Northvale, New Jersey. Sister is there. Phil Gennady, who's the neighbor, who's like 2 years older than my sister. He's there, so he's giving it the green light.
Yeah.
So that's all I need.
Hey, you gotta have a yes man. Phil Gelati.
My mom came in about 20 minutes into the whole process, all right? We're all greased up. I still remember the look on her face. It was like this mixture of completely furious and just wholly flabbergasted. Like I've just discovered that something that I thought was actually not. Something I thought was a straightforward, I'm going to come home and my kids are going to be completely normal. That is not the case. So
I thought it was. I thought that was my living room carpet. Now it is not.
Now it is not. Now it is covered in baby oil and my son's budding chest hair.
Yes.
Because I was an early bloomer at like 9 years old. So
yeah.
So that's an interesting theme, though. The things that you think something is going to go a certain way.
Yeah.
You think you're watching something, you're reading something, and you think it's kind of ticking along, and all of a sudden, what do they call that? A spin?
A Shyamalan.
A Shyamalan. Yeah, which is how the Himalayans say it.
Yeah.
The Himalayans say it, Shyamalan.
That's in film history. That's the guy who brought that to us. That thing you're talking about.
Oh, the classic twist.
The
there.
Twist. Before Shyamalan,
no
one's ever did it.
Nope.
No. Yeah. And we have him to thank for that.
I thank him every day on my knees.
Debt of gratitude.
Wait a minute.
Thank him. Thank him.
Thank you, M. Night Shyamalan.
Is his name Shyamalan, or are you just trying to make it sound like that?
His name is
Rama Ding Dong song.
M. Night Shyamalan. That is his name. The guy.
What did I call him?
I think you called him Himalayan. He's the director of.
I would have spelled it with a straight face, and it wouldn't have been.
Wouldn't have been weird, right?
I would have thought that's what I was saying. Yeah. I'm not trying to be a total Shyamalan.
Yeah, no, it's fine, man. It's fine. It's absolutely okay. You enjoy enlarging whatever you want to, and I will.
I see people.
Dead.
Baby oil.
Baby
rolling
oil
all over my living room.
So it's kind of also just sort of like another thing that would be going along as though there may not be no interruption in it is your existence. There's hundreds of people who are going to perish tomorrow, and they have absolutely no idea about it.
Way to bring it up, buddy.
Well, life.
How many people are on the planet? Billions.
7 billion? 5 billion.
That's what they're talking about these days?
Yeah.
Who counts that?
They may be, like, I was listening to a podcast about the estimating that they do. That may be so ridiculously wrong that they, like the guy who is hosting the podcast said, there may only be 500, 600 million people on the planet, and we are just way off, And
that's kind of what I wondered.
Well, it's completely math based. We have absolutely no idea how many people are actually living in sub-Saharan Africa. We have no idea that there are truly 650 million.
Are you reading the transcript of that podcast?
Yeah, right now.
Jesus, George.
Why not?
That's not original content, man.
Well, come on. Nothing we do is original content.
Yeah.
Nothing in podcasting is original content.
Unless we put a twist on it.
Unless you twist it. So, double twist even. But if you're ticking along and you're just you're a species, you're going along there, and all of a sudden your species comes to an abrupt end. What might you call that? Who are we?
Well, we are biomechanical dads defying sapien firefight.
Oh, spoiler.
Damn.
Right there.
Sapien firefight.
Right in the
that is
in the
not,
fake title. Oh.
Yeah, that is not gonorrhea, by the way.
No, sapien is not. No, it's a classy new sexually transmitted disease. I got the sapien.
Yeah.
Gotta go to the clinic. I got the sapien firefight.
Someone in this thing we're talking about got a bad case of the sapiens.
He did.
You know what they did about that?
Go ahead.
They got it cleared up.
Okay. Oh, that's good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you were close to a segue, then you fed it up there, and similar to my feelings.
Oh, no, that's because that's
happened?
what I'm doing. That's our new thing, is that I do the segue right up into that point right before I do the reveal, and then we decide who we are. And then I go back into the segue.
It's a segue facade.
It's a segue facade.
No, it's a feint.
Into a.
It's a segue feint.
It's sort of a classic double George fake out marquee is what I call it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I come at you like a rhino, and then I stop short. I go over to the side, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, you're dealing with like a spider monkey instead.
Yeah.
And then I just go extinction.
That's what I saw you do to that meter maid that day. She still gave you the ticket, though.
She had it coming.
That was weird. You
right.
had it coming.
Oh, I can't do anything. It's out of the machine.
Yeah.
Get out of here,
Put it back
lady.
in the machine.
Put it back in.
Put it back in the machine.
Put it back in the machine. You know what?
Why don't they ever put it back in the machine?
They say you can't fight City Hall, but you can fight that little machine, lady.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And then they call up one of those dweebs on a Segway with a helmet. You know,
wasn't even
Village Rangers or whatever those.
Oh right, yeah.
Was that your backup?
The guy with the plastic badge.
A PA. What is he? Public safety at
You know, we have immense respect
Hofstra University. That's what I was gonna say.
We have immense respect for all forms of law enforcement. Please don't look up my name or vehicle identification numbers. Particularly if you are
a rental car company.
Rental car company. This guy has hit 20 deer. Yeah. Jesus. We're talking about Extinction, Kevin.
God, I mean, just the title alone makes me think of so many freaking other movies it could be.
It could be anything. I mean,
why is that?
I see that, I go, wow, are we talking about, is this a climate change thing? Is this a classic asteroid? Are we talking an extinction level event? Are we talking an alien invasion? Are we talking some sort of a spooky plague?
One might say it's a little open.
It's pretty broad.
For a pretty specific thing you could be talking about.
Yeah, the cynicism in me makes me think that the guy's writing the screenplay and he goes, oh, okay, I'm gonna put Extinction on there. I'm sure I'll change it later. And then Netflix goes, here you go. Here's $10 million for anything you got. And he's like, well, I've got this movie called Extinction. Okay, sold.
By the way, George, do you know the definition of insanity?
I believe we talked about this the last time.
We did the last time? Why don't you tell me about it again, then?
Because now it is actually insanity. This would be great if we talk about this every time. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, right, Kevin?
Right.
Is that what
What'd we do?
Somebody
for
told
another
me
week in a row, buddy.
We went back to fucking Netflix.
They love me. That's why he hits me with his fucking shitty fucking sci-fi film.
Guys, for those of you who sent in emails saying if you need help, blink. You can't see us blinking.
Yes, okay? Only the people we are signing for can get this.
Okay. So yeah, if you understood that, if you speak ASL, please call the appropriate authorities, have somebody come over to our place, take our phones from us and cancel our Netflix accounts, because like drug addicts, we can't seem to stop going back to the thing that's going to destroy us.
And we did it again.
We did it again. We saw a shiny new movie on Netflix, and we're like, this time it will be different.
Well, I got one of those notifications on my feed about Netflix full-length sci-fi film, and I went, whoa.
Yeah, kind of like when a drug dealer used to call you up and say, hey, I got something new.
This is the heroin that's killing everyone in Queens. Yeah. Do you want some of this dope?
Gotta have it.
Yeah, I mean, gotta have it, man.
I mean, gotta have it.
Yeah.
So we went back into the abyss in order to conquer, once again, the thing that we think that we can control and enjoy. And lo and behold, Extinction is a new science fiction movie on Netflix. The article that you sent me was, the title was, Has Netflix finally made a good sci-fi movie? What is the answer to that question?
It's not a movie.
It's not a movie, is it?
No.
Man, they have trouble.
It's the new thing.
Yeah.
It should be called something. It's not a television show.
Is it okay to quantify it by saying it's a Netflix movie? Like, it
still makes me expect a movie.
It's not cinematic. There's something
it doesn't
about
have the look, like the way it's shot. So
yeah.
the real medium might be changing this for me. Part of the riveting. We're getting deep now into cameras.
Yeah.
And shit that I don't want to talk about anymore.
I don't really understand.
No, yeah. But it does something.
Well, I would think that there's a difference between, and again, like, I don't have any experience. I'm not a film director. I've simply seen a lot of them. I would think there's a difference between a television director and a film director. You know, that there's a difference in scope, there's a difference in ability to tell story, to translate from page to screen. And so you've got film directors who are shooting for that experience, that I'm seeing this on a 75-foot screen. And then you've got guys who direct Netflix movies who know...
Isn't this amazing how much George thinks he knows about this? This is great.
Knows full well that this is going to be seen on television.
Right. So is this guy a television director?
No idea.
No idea. Okay.
Yeah, maybe we should have done some research before I decided.
We can't research. We can't use Google.
We can't use Google.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So here we are, rocking a hard place.
Biomechanical dads defy sapien firefight.
Michael Pena. He shows up. He's the lead in this movie. I like him. I think he is a good actor. I like him in more things than I
have no context.
He's
therefore he was
in Crash. He was the cop in Crash. He was in
Cop and Crash.
Mm-hmm. Johnny Cop and Crash.
Mm-hmm.
But he's in Ant-Man, most recently, playing a really kind of silly stereotype. He's a good actor. He's in
stereotypical ant.
He was in 9/11.
Running around, lifting heavy shit.
Yeah,
stealing ruffles.
Fucking little ant with a high-pitched voice.
Yeah. You dude, that ant's carrying a whole ruffle.
Oh, that's crazy.
Whoa.
Looks like Michael Pena, too.
Yeah.
The CG is great. But, so he shows up in this movie, and do you want to set the world up?
Ruffle.
Whole ruffle.
Woo.
Set up the world.
I am on fire. We have a not-so-distant future. What I'm calling now, it's a her future. It's a her future.
Yeah, the movie?
Yes, the movie Her. It's a her future.
Sterile, kind of, yeah.
Yeah. In hindsight, however. But we have a guy who is a little stressed out at the job, and he's got a family and a typical teenage daughter, and there is tension, and he's having bad dreams of apocalypse, stuff coming out of the sky and then just tearing apart the people, like in cities, like mass shootings, almost a little bit of Las Vegas there. Made me kind of think what might be heavy-handed or not about our current state of things, and multiple entendres. But this, I don't think you can have multiple entendres, by the way, if you're not having an entendre.
You're not having a single entendre.
My mind knew exactly what I was talking about there.
That's fine. I'm willing to bet it would have gone unnoticed had not plucked out by you.
Well, yeah. That's
But hey,
there's probably an entendre about having multiple entendres.
Yeah.
Much like.
So is this more than two entendres?
It's an entendre.
It's an entendre. Okay.
I got nothing.
The Shmawl.
He goes to work. He falls asleep. He burns out a machine. He's in a futuristic kind of white sterile zone, government building. And this guy's just distant. Maybe even a little self-absorbed. He gets a referral from his boss to get a sleep study in exchange for getting to go out from work early for a family night. Going to patch things up. And dude falls asleep in the basement of the building, has another bad dream with these visions. We're starting to see a narrative string together. And he comes home. There is a dinner party a couple days later, and at that dinner party, there is an attack. And this dude's, I guess, correct.
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
and some nasty shit comes down from the sky.
They seem to, his wife especially, who's played by Lizzie Kaplan.
What is that supposed to mean?
She's great.
Nora went, Lizzie Kaplan. She's not great. She was not great.
Oh, she's usually a comedic actress. She's very funny. I mean, she was in Party Down. She was great in that. But she was in True Blood. Wasn't so great in that. But his wife jumps on board really quickly with the whole you were right the whole time thing, even though there's a lot of vagueness.
If I had an alien spacecraft come down, destroy people at my dinner party with mechanized weapons, and it seemed a lot like what my wife was dreaming, I think I'd be on board.
It just seemed artificial to me.
I'm sorry, I judged you wrong. We should move.
Well, I mean, to
I
the
think
point
the
where
flames
like,
are coming through the hallway again.
She's like, hey, what do we do now? You know, like, what is the, you know...
Well, because he's been saying, it made sense to me. She wants to know what to do because he's been having the visions.
But
he said they're not the same.
Yeah, they're not the same.
It's not coming out the same.
Yeah, because
similar,
and we're wondering,
different.
Wondering why. What's going on here? Why is it that this attack is not the attack that he has been apparently foreseeing? And so we're left with more questions, and we go on a little adventure. It's very clear all of a sudden this is an alien invasion.
Totally,
they are killing people left and right. It seems to be they are just wiping people out. There's
Which remind me of Raqqa, the takeover in the Oat Studios.
Yeah. Yep.
Kind of just like, holy wow, they're just coming in quick and you got
just
no
taking
chance.
People out. Doesn't seem like they're rounding anybody up. They're just killing people left and right. They want to wipe us out. Few little diversions. There is an alien that comes into their apartment that does not kill their daughter, but instead sort of puts his hand on her face. They're still vaguely threatening, and they beat the crap out of him. This alien now has a bit of a grudge. They've stolen his weapon, and he can track them down through the weapon that they have taken. So he is now going after them. So no matter where they go, they've got, because of his visions, this idea of getting to the warehouse in which he works. Though his boss there is a great character actor who played Robin Wood in the Buffy the Vampire Slayer series, and I haven't seen him since then, and it was really cool to see him again because I liked him a lot.
Well, he went to rehab for a long
time, man.
He's out now
for Netflix.
He was chasing that heroin in Queens I was talking about,
and he replaced it with Netflix Sci-Fi, and now he's fine.
Yeah,
you know. So that's the journey that they're on. They go to this factory, and then when they get there, before they get there on the journey, we are treated to
another fight scene.
Fight scene.
By this time, there's fatigue setting in, and I'm like, boy, these aliens, they're almost like got machine guns. They've got bayonets.
Yeah, there's bullets. There's
and
very,
I'm like,
very
what the hell are you?
Archaic.
This is stupid.
Well, they've clearly got ships. There's ships flying around. They are wearing like bio.
Right, so I'm thinking,
suits
I'm about to do one of those like sci-fi books that are like more of the warfare ones. Like these boring, like almost video game books.
Right.
Like, it's going to be like a Halo story, and I'm like, dude, this cannot be the feature film that Netflix finally made that was good.
Yeah, because I'm already sort of like, what's going to happen?
And at this point, Nora's saying, well, it's an action movie.
It would not have held up as an action movie.
Well, but that's because I was like, she's like, do you like it? And I went, no.
Yeah.
Not yet, I said.
Yeah.
So what?
I mean,
now we're just running away.
Yeah, even based on just like the close quarters fight scenes, they're not like really dramatic, or they're not like suspenseful or anything like that. So I mean, if had this just ticked along as an alien fight movie, you know, like Independence Day or something like that, it would have sucked. Thankfully, that was not the case, because we're treated to basically, you know, one of the first twists. There is they're beating this alien to death, and he puts his hands up and removes his mask, and it is not an alien; it is a human being.
And he kind of pulls off like his space uniform. They cracked the faceplate.
Yeah, and it got they got a good actor for that role, because it is kind of an innocent looking kid, and it's sort of apparent immediately, like, okay, well, first of all, now what's going on here? I do feel like I saw this one coming at some level. Like, I felt like because this was not enough of a movie, you know, that I knew that there must be something going on here. Even earlier in the apartment, when Lizzie Kaplan is beating him with the fire extinguisher, or the telescope, sorry, I thought, we're about to find out that this guy's a human being, and we find out like 20 minutes later, actually.
I just thought there was something up. I wasn't onto it yet.
What I didn't think was the bullets. I actually thought that was kind of a cool choice if they were aliens to make them simply have projectile weapons. Like, I thought that was kind of cool as opposed to like laser beams. Like, oh yeah, all right, cool. Aliens.
Well, they were a little bit of a combination. You could see its ambiguity and why it was sort of intentionally done that way. So what was cool for me is that was cool. This thing's a humanoid. So I had sort of a Cambrian explosion of what could happen at that point. And I was like, have real aliens made captured humans fight for them? Do we have some sort of human cloaking style alien for a survival technique? And of course, now what are they going to do with this alien? Because very quickly he says, "You pick up my hurt wife and walk with him."
Yeah.
And of course, I was like, "What's to prevent him from throwing her off the next high thing they go by?"
And that also
anyways,
kind of made me wonder whether or not this was an actual human, whether there was some sort of enhanced strength involved in them. Like I was kind of doing this this mental grasping for straws of just like, well, yeah, where's this going now, and what does this mean right now? Part of me even thought, okay, maybe Michael Pena is actually an alien, and his perception is that him and his family are all human beings, even to the point where like he sees them as, you know what I mean, like that they are actually gross.
Why? That's reminding me of the Black Mirror episode where you have your brain hacked so you see the humans as cockroaches.
Yeah,
I was
thinking like that, but only not actually having their brain hacked. Like maybe he is actually crazy and just sees them as human beings. It was one of a multitude of things that were like, going through my head as it started to unravel. So the fact that it does that is cool. Like it's a cool, not trick, but it's a cool storytelling device that all of a sudden, what we thought was going to be the movie gets kind of spun on its head. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't stop there. I would say we're treated to an even cooler reveal further on, and not much further on either, because his wife is badly wounded. He has had premonitions of her dying with their children over them, or at least someone that they are calling mother, mm-hmm. dying with their children standing over this person. And as they get to the factory, we find that there is more going on. There are certain people who know that this was pending, that this invasion was going to happen sooner or later, and they're ready for it. You kids go down to the train, and this and we're gonna get out of here. We've got a secret plan in established already. So after that, do you want to take a?
Yeah. Well, it all kind of gets revealed in flashbacks, but his wife needs help, and they stick a taser onto her, and they're like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And very soon after, okay, maybe this is some future tech. These people are prepared for an alien invasion. The captured humanoid alien invader guy barters for his life and says, "I know how to make her well." And it turns out he studied everything about them.
He says, "Your people."
Yeah.
And even after linking back, like even after the tech, who you think is a, medic, saying her system is shutting down, even after like all these hints, the electric thing being done, I still did not. It was still a true reveal for me.
Yeah, and so he cuts her open, and she's got biotechnology in her, and she is an android, a synthetic, and so is he. And basically, humanoid guy who studied everything about these synthetics, probably to learn how to best take them over and learn their ways to kill them, connects an electric cable from the healthy guy to the wounded woman and sort of balances the charge.
Through all this, we are treated to what I kind of felt like saved the movie for me, because we're given all the exposition.
Yeah. That was good.
Yeah, and it was
cool.
really well done. It's all done while he is connected, while Michael Payne is connected to Lizzie Kaplan, to his wife, recharging her, and we find that the premonitions, what he thought were premonitions, are actually memories to when humans decided synthetics were becoming too self-aware. They tried to extinguish them. They tried to make them extinct. And synthetics fought back to the point where humanity needed to evacuate the planet Earth. That is a cool idea, man. That is a really, really cool idea.
We'll be so lucky to get off the planet if we are deemed useless.
I don't know, man. I think
it's
about
a whole new
this
spin
sometimes.
on the Matrix.
Completely. We've talked about the whole the artificial intelligence and the singularity before. It can be a kind of a, maybe not boring, but maybe a pointless conversation.
Yeah,
but
it's in one artificial singular conversation.
Exactly, you know, and whether or not I find it really intriguing the idea that like the singularity has already happened and we're kind of just unaware of it now, and it's sort of biding its time, doing what it does, maybe collecting massive amounts of information and data on us. But I always have this like human ingenuity hope in my head. That's kind of my continuing optimism for the human species, is that we are capable of thinking ourselves out of most of these problems, and
until the machines are actually just smarter than us.
Yeah. So that's
because
what
they can,
and that's what we're dealt with. We have to leave the planet in this movie. They look up and they see ships just taking off. And
it's like, oh, that's the last of them.
Their children, I thought great. Like, that's a great story moment. They find their children hanging over, and this is why he had the premonition of his children laying over someone who is dead, saying, "Mommy, please get up." The synthetics have killed. There were these two synthetic children whose mother was murdered because she was human. So human parents had synthetic children.
Yeah.
And the synthetics did not spare them. Even though they were treating these children as though they loved them and they were their own. They were part of the whole thing. And there's almost like there's a genocidal Nazi-esque kind of element to that too. It's like, now, yeah, we decided you guys are getting too powerful, but now you guys decide that we are inferior, you know, and clearly it's shown that we're the ones who strike first. So in their, mind, all bets are off, and that's it. It's clean. It's cleansed the earth of humanity. So they do so. They cleanse the earth of humanity, and afterwards, in order to not have this relic of pain, they wipe their memories and they believe that they are human beings. So and they have
so
the
they
world.
Don't live in fear.
They do not live
of
in
the
fear.
humans coming back, because they always kind of know that the humans will. Humans have been living on colonies in Mars. They're in spacesuits. They didn't know if they'd even be able to breathe down here.
Yeah.
And things like that. Cool little details.
Doesn't sound like they're living well. Like, it sounds like they
probably is tough on Mars.
Well, I mean, it sounds like he mentions using all the resources to basically build up this push back to Earth, so that they left and have just been sort of like building an army and indoctrinating soldiers into the evils of the synthetics and everything. And then this one this one human, he gets there and he sees children, and that is why he decides he can't do this. No one told us we're killing kids and we're killing families.
Kid robots. I would have made sure my soldiers got past that shit.
Yeah, I would have known.
Like, they're kids, they're robots. Trick you. They'll shoot you in the head too.
Yep.
You want to kill them also.
Yeah. Yep. So then, this movie does what Netflix movies do. There's a little bit more tension. Becomes kind of a race to get to the train, which is leaving, and they do, but it does the same thing that Bright before it did, which is basically go, hey, we're gonna make another one.
It made me want to see Snowpiercer again. That whole train exit thing.
That was a great movie, man.
We need to do that one on this one.
We absolutely should.
Yeah,
we should certainly do Snowpiercer.
Yeah,
I would
do it
love
right
to.
now.
Do it. Let's do it.
This isn't a movie that we're talking about.
Guess what, everybody? Snowpiercer.
That's our twist. This is actually a Snowpiercer episode.
We just fucking Shyamalan you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There you go, baby.
Extincting.
Chris Evans, John Hurt, Tilda Swinton, Ed Harris on a train.
Mm-hmm.
Rich people pancakes. In front making pancakes. Rich people in front, poor people in back. Poor baby-eating, dirty sons of bitches.
Cockroach paste candy bar eating.
Gorgeous. Poop. Made out of poop, too.
Poop paste.
Poop paste, candy bar, baby eating.
It's just a great idea
Jamie
that there's
Bell.
a train ripping around the world trying to stay alive.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That they only know that it's New Year's Eve based on the point in which they pass. And then they're in the fight with all the security guards. And there's the countdown to New Year's.
Oh, I forgot that.
So good. And they all pause. And they count down from 10. And say Happy New Year to each other.
And then go back at it.
And then go back to killing each other, man. Such a damn good movie.
But there was, in Extinctions, I really liked that, I just finished The Age of Spiritual Machines by Ray Kurzweil, and a book written in 1999. He makes predictions all the way up through 2099 and just lays out the 21st century for us. And he gets into the idea that the machines that we make will be smarter than us. It's inevitable. With real science, he talks about a law of accelerating returns in which, as an extension of evolution, our technology is going to double at a pace that can be charted from the origin of the computer, and the computation is going to go into a place where we are moving very fast as computers go. And they're just going to be smarter, and then they will begin to build themselves. So to imagine along the way that maybe in 2050 there are synthetic children for those who can't have kids, and how we maybe solve population problems, and these things will have great uses. And the ship has already sailed. We are going to want these uses. If we can make an android who won't die working in famine zones, we're going to have him until we don't like his mind.
Yeah. The greatest chess player in the world right now is a computer.
Yeah.
The greatest Go player in the world right now is a computer.
Mm-hmm. Greatest spin the bottle player, because it's still George Riccadella.
George Riccadella.
Eastvale, New Jersey.
Right below, computer.
I
remember when it was a huge deal that that chess master was beaten by a computer in the late 90s. Like that is basically now that supercomputing technology is now pretty much what we have in our phones. We are, and when you were reading this to me before, and it reminded me of a scene in the Linklater movie, Waking Life, where there's this physicist talking about the difference between biological evolution and technological evolution. And the technological evolution, we see it initially in just lifetimes, and then as that got more and more advanced, we see it in years, and soon we'll see it in months, in days, in minutes. And then when they are actually a part of the process, machines, when this technology is creating its own technology, which is the weird thing about artificial intelligence, is that they're not really, like, the guys who design it, and they don't really know how it works. They let it teach itself, so they've learned. One of the best poker player in the world is a computer right now, which means they had to learn intuition. They had to learn when to be able to tell when somebody is bluffing. It's scary shit.
Well, yeah, and so a lot of cool things are stirred up. Extinction as a whole. Obviously the extinction of the AIs could have happened.
Right.
It's the wrong title for this
It
movie.
is. There could have been
feel
something
like Extinction should have a
better.
volcano. Why does it have a volcano in my mind when I see it?
Because you think of dinosaurs. Extinction. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
I mean, there's no
different.
dinosaurs.
No dinosaurs in this movie.
We talked a little bit, I think, 2 weeks ago, maybe a little longer ago, but about how I sometimes feel cheated when you're watching a movie and all of a sudden, it was Orbiter 9,
Yeah.
all of a sudden they're not in space. I felt initially I was like a little cheated because it's like, oh, they're not aliens. Shit, they're humans. What are we gonna do now? Oh, they're humans and robots. Okay, all right, cool. We're cool again.
Yeah, I think toying with the viewer was cool.
Yeah.
Not toying in a pejorative way, but like the back and forth of it, because otherwise it would have been like, I mean, imagine if those were humans invaders, but there weren't people who weren't androids.
Like
Be
then
like,
you
what
get
the
into
hell
like, is this like
going
is this a
on?
country at war here?
Yeah.
That was a concern I actually had. I'm like, oh, is this like are we doing a metaphor here? Like, is this a
and there could have been
United States thing, and like somebody gonna be wearing a "Make America Great" hat or something, and or like the aliens were us the whole time.
Again, the old
Again, they
aliens
always
were
get-
us.
It's the classic.
The
big,
sapiens
scary
were us
door.
the whole time.
Classic Twilight Zone thing, man. One of the best parodies of Twilight Zone that I've ever seen is a Futurama episode where it ends with Futurama would parody Twilight Zone and it would just be called Big Scary Door. And there's this scientist and he's mixing this cocktail and he puts it into a machine and he's like, I have collected the DNA from the most malevolent creatures throughout the universe to create one singular ultimate evil. And then the door behind him open and a guy walks out and he just looks at the screen and goes, it turns out it's man.
Yeah, right?
It's like the classic Twilight Zone. We are the monsters. But it's cool to see those things get played with. Those ideas get played with. Like
well, and so would the robots are supposed to be programmed to not kill the creators, so you're gonna have to overwrite that. There was a pretty cool, one of the most intense scenes where Michael Pena mattered, because another thing, I don't really have a frame of reference for this stuff, so he didn't seem believable to me anyways, and maybe someone who thinks it's Michael Pena appreciates that he's there doing that, but he didn't seem right
as
to
a
me
fighter
as a whatever. But when he actually had the intensity of an android fighting for his life, and he punches that guy in the face over and over again until the other androids ask him to stop, and he sort of crossed the line, that was cool. But I also want to say that couched in this was that it was. I liked also that there was a couple scenes where his flashbacks, and once again, you talked about how the flashbacks sort of made the movie for you, for me too, because all the little ideas were in there.
Yeah.
But he actually was a janitor, and she a janitor too, and there's a little bit of humanoid hate. Yeah, they watch a human kind of bag on the janitor for fucking up something or something, and when the humans are gone, they inherited the positions of the regular humans in society. So we see them before we know they're androids, like in a boardroom discussing the new sewer system or whatever, you know, and you're like, oh, how civic and mundane. And actually, there's a line where a guy says, hey, do you want to stay late and talk about the new sewer system with me? And I was like, was that a weird come on? And she goes, actually, I would like to go out early because she's going early home for family night. And in hindsight, what kicked in is that might have been a really innocent question from one android to another.
Yeah.
Let's stay late and talk about the new sewer system or whatever.
Yeah. That's cool. That's a new level of looking at it.
And also that family night, because they both got yeses out of their bosses to leave early on the day of, which is I don't give that. When I give that type of notice, I've been surprised by like the boy is singing at the Christmas pageant, and it was today. We thought it was next week.
Yeah.
Other than that, you kind of usually got to plan that in a work environment, and it was almost like saying family night meant that of course you could stop.
Yeah.
After all, we are androids.
Yeah.
It's not like we're gonna die or run out of time to work on this. So
no, that's cool. That's very cool. I liked the idea that because I bought Michael Pena in the action role as a father protecting his children, but I did.
He seemed like a schlub.
More.
I didn't believe him.
I thought it was capable. Like I thought it was. No. I thought it was sort of like. But then when he became an android.
Not that Bruce Willis is more believable.
Oh, Bruce Willis is more believable.
But no, because we talked about this when we went through. What's the Bruce Willis movie? Generation 6 something. No.
12 Monkeys?
No, the one that our listener got all pissed at us about because we didn't like it. The French one. The French Bruce Willis flick with the blonde, the orange-haired woman in it.
Oh, the Fifth Element.
The Fifth Element.
Yeah.
The Sixth.
Yeah, the Sixth one.
Element.
Yeah, Sixth.
Like, we talked about how Bruce Willis makes something happen. And so, Bruce Willis I wouldn't buy, but it's weird. Because people say it's Michael Pena, my mind thinks he should bring something to the plate. Having no frame of reference, I'm going, there was probably a better unknown person that would bring something to the plate.
I got you.
And I think it's a critique maybe of the industry and what just happens when people have to do things because their job. It's a job, but like, someone probably... I don't know. Not that I can go and pretend that aliens are coming after me and dive under the table and it would be believable.
No, I mean
these people are acting. It's a skill.
It's a valid point. I mean, it is sort of like they probably went, oh, we got Michael Pena, and that was like, oh, okay.
And that's the other thing. So when it comes to Netflix, why play within the realm if you've got all this money? Find the guy who's really the best actor, not someone who's in the ring already.
Why get Joel Kinnaman to play Takeshi Kovacs?
Why do Will Smith?
Why do Will Smith?
And whatever acclaimed
Joel
actor,
Edgerton.
Joel Orkenbright.
Jolie Orkenbright. Dude, I'm an orc, guys.
Because then it's a stunt to me.
You're not wrong. Yeah.
And maybe that's the problem with how these things read to me.
It's also another
level. Almost like it's like the horror trilogy television show thing, where it's like neat to see a different actor play another Clive Barker story on Friday nights on White Fighter.
Which is amazing because these movies, like this movie would have been much more palatable if it was packaged with 2 other Netflix movies and released on Netflix as like a sci-fi short stories. You know what they could call it?
They could have called it Black Mirror.
That's perfect. My God.
They could have called it Black Mirror. Yeah.
Well, the thing about Black Mirror is, though, Black Mirror is television that exceeds that limitation. It's television that becomes cinematic.
I'm just saying.
Once you say that, hey, here it is, it's a sci-fi movie, and it's not a movie.
I want you to think about this, George.
Yeah. Hold on. Black Mirror.
I did not watch the rest of the 4th season of Black Mirror. Whatever's going on that I'm talking about right here with the Netflix phenomenon, slowed the entropy or the inertia. Sorry, I didn't feel the need to press further into Black Mirror for a couple more reasons. I don't want to go through any of the stuff that might be really rough. I don't know if it is, but I kind of hit a limit with it. They could be sublime. I could be missing out. Guess what? I'm not.
Do you feel like that is you're talking about this as though like it's an indictment of Netflix and their storytelling in general?
Maybe not indictment's the wrong word, but maybe we're looking at we are. We're looking at a new paradigm.
Yeah, we are.
Where something can be cranked out over and over again, and so lots of things are out there right now.
There's no doubt that their content is so vast that it's probably muddy.
But all content is vast, and that's just the thing.
It's like the Kimmy Schmidt joke. YouTube Brown, you know, like, there's so much, you know, that should they pick up TV Guide and it's like it's this phone book. It's like TV Guide looks like this now, you know, and it's true. You know, Greg Kinnear says YouTube Brown just bought 10 episodes of anything from me.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
it's good to see Kimmy comes back.
Yeah,
for another episode of Busy.
Yeah,
Dads do
we
sci-fi.
You know, we bring the quality
because that, you know, and that's. I don't know. Our last movie we talked about, Possession, was a movie.
It was a movie, though. That's a movie. It's from a different era, though.
Yeah.
Different era, different quality. I mean, you know, we talked about Infinity War. That's a movie.
So basically, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, Kevin. It's just
it
me, you.
It doesn't matter at Reprise.
DJ Slither.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh.
So
at the beach, dude, you said, dude, this movie's good.
I don't think I used Sunday. The word dude. If I used the word...
you might have dude or bra. We were at the beach, bro.
I was at the beach, so I might have said bra. I went, bro, it's good. I don't think that was... I think I went like this. It's good.
It's... And my memory is that you said it in such a way where I thought this had a chance.
Oh, wait. Well, hold on. Sitting here right now.
That means I trust you, by the way.
It was good. Like, it was a good movie. I don't regret having seen it.
I don't think it was.
No,
I don't think it was entirely intact.
No, well, it has no
ending. The pace was
ending.
strange.
Yeah. I don't know if I agree with the pace being strange. I agree with it.
I mean, dude, two kids scream cried the whole time.
Yeah.
That's pretty undynamic.
It is.
And there was and that's a tension I can do without. Just, and then you know, and,
they're kids. I mean, but I thought the Lizzie Kaplan, I thought she was pretty good, not knowing if and when she was going to die because he's already had the premonition. I thought there was tension there. I thought the characters were decent enough. It wasn't like great. I thought it was good though. I don't regret having seen it. Those are not mutually exclusive.
Well, like I kind of like. It's okay that I don't think it's good.
I watched.
Like it's still. I
watched.
It did things for me, but it wasn't a good whole movie to me.
I watched A Quiet Place last week. It's a horror movie directed by John Krasinski, Jim from The Office, and I could have not watched it. Like it was one. It was just like that's kind of like. I'm glad I saw this. I'm glad I did. So that if anything, I know. No, Netflix has not yet made a good sci-fi movie.
You know? Because the John Krasinski movie worked?
It worked in a similar way. Well, it's a horror movie. But it's a weird one. Because it's sort of like it was hyped up. Everyone was like, oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
So good. You got to go see A Quiet Place. It wasn't that good. It just wasn't.
I could have told you that.
Why?
I have a gift.
Yeah, you do. You do.
So
you also the same gift that enables you to know that Scanner Darkly, you don't remember it being a good movie, even though you haven't seen it.
That's because I read the book. The gift is that I know the book is better. Plus,
well, the book
just
is
because
better.
Richard Linker later decides to use computer crayons. Is that what they call that?
That's what they call them, yeah. Computer crayons.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you doing, Richard? Coloring?
Dude, I'm doing the movie of the future,
Making a movie, man. Give 5 years, man. All movies are gonna look like this.
Yeah.
What about you made Slacker? That was pretty good, man. Fuck Slacker. It's all gonna be crayons.
Slacker. Yeah, that crayon thing fell by the side, but Pixar did not.
No, yeah, the rotoscoping animation didn't quite make it, did it?
Rotoscoping.
Yeah.
You had to say it, didn't you?
That's what it's called.
You know why we can't say it?
Why?
Because it sucks.
Because it sucks. Scanner Darkly was actually pretty good. The movie.
Yeah?
Yeah, well.
It's fine. Hey, you believe that. You believe that.
It's okay.
I'm saying this movie, I believe the illusion that it is good, like in a up on your news feed, Netflix finally made a good sci-fi movie, which is how that came to me. I think because of the twists we're talking about, And I think we have a peak end style memory. And at the peak, we remember the twist. And in the end, since it wasn't so bad, we can say it's good.
I don't
Even
disagree
though along
with
the
that
way,
at all.
you know, we might have got reamed a couple times.
Yeah.
Or
I thought it handled some stuff really well. And I've got to say, even the twists are not... Nothing here is revolutionary. There's nothing
but
fucking...
totally cool.
Yeah, but there's
right up my
nothing
alley. It's amazing
big.
that I'm finishing
I
that
mean,
book right when this goes on.
We have seen, you know, the aliens are really humans and the humans are really robots before. I don't know if we've seen them together, but we've seen both of those twists happen separately.
And I don't have a catalog that was making that twist less strength. Having it worked. It worked. But yeah.
Where do we go?
Where do
from
we go?
Here?
We don't do that. That's for sure.
I do that often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just sing that.
That's the curse of being me, man.
Sing it to your wife.
I
Just, where
sing
do we go
often.
from here? She's like, you could go to the school and take the kids there. That's what we're doing, George.
No, let's be
You've been doing that.
Let's be realistic. Okay? Besides, I've been having these dreams about aliens attacking. I
Yeah.
don't think I can leave the house today.
Yeah. Honey.
Honey.
Yeah.
So, take the car keys. Go get me a bottle of scotch.
Yeah. And I hear there's great heroin in Queens.
Apparently, there's really good heroin in Queens.
Yeah. So,
if there's anybody
yeah.
in Queens with access to that great alien heroin,
mail some.
Yeah, please put your name
Yeah.
on an envelope.
Your name.
And mail that to...
Address it to Michael Pena.
Michael Pena.
P-E-N-N-A-A.
Put it, send that to producer Vic, P.O. Box 7715, Burbank, California.
90121.
No.
No.
90910.
90210.
Yep.
Just say it, George.
90210. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, man. And that's when Dylan has the OD.
You know what we
and
really...
we write a better episode.
That movie really needed?
What?
The kids crying for another 5-10 minutes. Don't hurt my daddy!
I mean, what do you do?
I thought he was gonna die too. I thought that was the deal. Like, I thought the whole deal was he plugs into her, and then the guy was telling him, "Hey, yeah, I need your power source." And then all of a sudden, when they both live, I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. What do they call that thing that you plug into the bottom of your phone?
Charger?
No, it keeps your charge going.
Charger?
Nope. It rides around in the case with you.
It's a phone charger?
Nope. It's 21st century, ladies and
Are you
gentlemen.
talking about the telephone?
It's called a Boki
Charger?
or a Kipo.
Oh, get the
Or
fuck out of here.
What's it called?
It's not. Are you saying brand names now? Are these guys paying us?
You charge it. It fits around your phone. It's like a phone case. And it extends the life of your battery.
I know what it is, but I don't know what it's called. Brick?
It's called like a Kipo.
A case with a battery in it.
You know that's not what it's called.
I don't know what it's called. Look at my phone. It's nice and thin and aerodynamic.
Yeah, I know, man.
I don't indulge in that big pocket crap.
Mm-hmm.
Getting text messages from other nerds who are watching Infinity War right now because it just came out on digital.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say it just came out in Brazil. Oh, yes! Your Brazilian buddies love it. Goal?
My Brazilian friends.
Goal?
Yeah, goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they like soccer.
I bet they do. You know what else they like? Chimichurri.
What?
Yeah. Brazil. We did this on the International Food and Language episode.
Oh, we did? Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about the chimichurri.
Listener, you've squandered yet another hour with us. Busy dads do sci-fi.
Bet it doesn't feel like an hour.
No.
Bet it feels like...
because you still have 11 minutes in your drive.
Yeah, especially if you live in Los Angeles.
Yeah, baby.
So why don't you pop over to a classic episode for the last 11 minutes. So Busy Dads Do Sci-Fi on Instagram or Twitter. And you can email us at busydadsdosci-fi@gmail.com. Let us know what you thought. Let us know in either the comments section or on Instagram or Twitter. Let us know on the email. And, we'd be more than happy if you've got some intriguing ideas, if you think we're full of shit, if you think that we're not.
And also, we need people who are part of the Yugo Worldcon votership to start naming us as Best Fan Cast for 2019. Also, if you know whether or not I can become a member and then vote for my own podcast, you could let me know that too.
It's probably something we could Google, but like we said, we can't Google. We can't Google anything, ever. So, good night, everybody.
Good night.
Enjoy.
Bye.